7. It was touch and go there for a second.
Just to be sure, this video contains spoilers. While Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 10, Fear No Mort, provided an uncommonly happy conclusion for the show's two main characters, one key recurring character did not do so well in the post-credits sequence. The sitcom contains a vast cast of supporting characters, although they are not all treated favorably. For every Space Beth, who became a big presence following her arrival, there is a slow Mobius, who was introduced in Season 2, forgotten about for years, and then ruthlessly killed off midway through Season 7.
Hey, ready to showbiz pizza?
Let me see that fair play banjo!
However, even his fate isn't as horrible as one of Rick's oldest pals has gone through. After Rick Prime's death in Rick and Morty Season 7, the show's storyline could have gone in any direction. Surprisingly, the next episodes were generally lighthearted standalones. As a result, it came as little surprise when the season finale darkened things for the titular couple. Rick and Morty ventured into the hole in Season 7, Episode 10, a bizarre psychic place that recreated a user's greatest fear and allowed them to overcome it, exiting a different person. Morty was able to overcome his reliance on Rick after realizing Rick had never followed him down at all.
Dad, it's not real. Neither are you.
If that's true, then you deal with it.
The post-credits sequence, however, saw a familiar face go in the opposite direction of the main character's upbeat development. The finale of Rick and Morty Season 7 Stinger demonstrates that Mr. Poopy Butthole has learned nothing. Although Morty learned to rely on himself in the Season 7 finale, the post-credit sequence in Episode 10 demonstrated that Mr. Poopy Butthole didn't actually want to improve his life. The supporting actor promised Rick that after the Season 7 premiere, he would get over his ex-wife Amy and focus on himself, but instead ended up using a portal pistol to cross dimensions and switch places with a version of himself who hadn't gone yet. While Rick and Morty Season 7, Episode 9 post-credits scene introduced a formidable new foe for Rick. This was the season's worst sting since it came after both Rick and Morty had improved their outlooks. Rick spent the episodes following Rick Prime's unexpected defeat, grappling with his mortality, traveling to Valhalla, and fighting the Pope just to figure out his new purpose in life. Meanwhile, Morty went out of his way to confront his greatest fear, understood that fear was dependent on Rick, and was determined to stop viewing himself as an extension of his super genius grandfather. Instead of reforming, improving, and moving on, Poopy Butthole simply dimension hopped into a universe where he and Amy never split up. The majority of Season 7's stingers were lighter and sillier, but this twist was heartbreaking. Mr. Poopy Butthole's failures highlight Rick's character development. Morty's decision to leap into the hole demonstrated that he needed to live a life apart from Rick's escapades. However, Rick's decision not to leap in demonstrated that he had finally learned to fear, as well as his grudging respect for Morty. Both of these characteristics demonstrated that Rick had a cause to exist apart from his now completed vengeance mission against Rick Prime. Poopy Butthole flashed back to a happier moment when he wasn't thinking about what went wrong with him and Amy, demonstrating that he wasn't willing to make the same improvements. As a result, the post-credits scene contributed to the development of Rick and Morty's principal character.